looking at the screen to see how many children. Okay, so students have come. You're ready? Did you get my message that we are going to do geography lesson today? Third poem, geography lesson, and the poet, of course, Zulfikar Bose, and he's Indian poet, writer, novelist, and now, of course, he's settled in Texas, US, and he's a great writer. And he has written fantastic poems, or writings. His writings mostly of realism, based on realism. Okay, and fantasy. Now here there's a strong sarcasm. Okay, that indirectly he wonders that though the earth is one, but still the people are divided, and he questions at the end why the people are divided. He's not able to understand why they hate each other, why they don't love each other, whereas the earth is same, earth is one family. So that he cannot understand. And then he talks about the three stages. Of course, once when he was on the ground, on land, and he was not able to understand, that time he couldn't understand the planning. It looked haphazard. But when he sat in an aeroplane, and it was a little higher, as the miles, 1 mile had equal to 6 inches. Okay, a little, so then he could realize the planning of the cities. The planning of the cities, only from that height he could understand the planning of the cities. Whereas when he was on the ground, it had seemed haphazard. Haphazard meaning I have written here. Haphazard, where is it here? Yeah, without planning. Okay, very confusing, very haphazard. Okay, then he talks about, in this next stanza, he talks about the second stage. It goes still higher, 10,000 feet high altitude. And then he could see that the places which were near water or the valleys were more populated. And now he could understand the lesson of geography, that the places which are near water are densely populated. Okay, this he could understand as his plane continued to fly higher. And then he talks about the third. In the third stanza, it was still much more higher, and then he could make out the shape of the earth. The earth was round. It had more water than the land. He could understand all this geography that he had studied. But what he could not understand was the people, why the people hated, why there were boundaries. Boundaries, when we're talking about the boundaries of heart, okay, division among people on the basis of race, maybe religion, race, of course. I'm Chinese, I'm Indian, I'm this, and they hate each other. So he could not understand. Isn't it? If we are thinkers, all means all the countries start thinking, and there are more people who are sensitive, then this earth would become a beautiful place. But the problem is among people. Yes, and it's better to be kind to animals and plants and environment, and to others also, as far as possible. At least you people, when you grow up, you will make this place a beautiful place through peace, harmony. Okay, now we start the poem. Okay, now in any poem or any piece of literature means which deals with fiction or essays, other than the language deals with grammar. Okay, rules, grammar, that is language. Okay, but literature is can be in any language. It can be in Sanskrit, in Hindi, or any language. Okay, so here we are dealing with poetic devices. That poetic device बोलते हैं, या literary device बोलते हैं, या part of speech बोलते हैं, that are used by poet, especially in poems, to beautify it. है ना? जैसे कि बचपन से, right from the childhood, you have right from the primary, you must have heard about the rhyming words in the poem. The last word, the rhyme, play. clay. Last words. तो वो they are called rhyming words. Then imagery होता है, imagery. आप visualize कर when you're reading. Today I was teaching 7th standard, so there a lot of imagery was discussed, like cow, this verbs, and we could visualize when while reading. The readers can visualize whatever he's reading. That is called imagery, of course. Then repetition. Repetition are the lines which are repeated in a poem. Okay, they're repeated. So that is called repetition. Then you have alliteration. Now, alliteration might be new for you. In the same sentence or the same line, the sounding letters or consonants we can say, same sounding consonants, like she sells seashells, for example. She sells seashells, so sound or sure sound in the same line, so that would be the alliteration. If you get an exam, what is the alliteration here in this stanza, then you will write sa. She says, we after we have completed, then we'll look up at this poem, what are the alliteration, what are the afterwards, we'll after ending this poem we'll discuss. Okay, are you ready with your books or your work, handouts or presentation, whatever you have? Now if we look at the presentation, there's a picture of this poet, Zulfikar Bose, you can see here. Yes, can you see? Yes, Zulfikar Bose. He is Zulfikar Bose, okay, whose poem you're going to read now. Okay. Okay. Now, there are other pictures also. This picture, can you see? Haphazard. When you are on the ground, on the land, you're unable to understand. If you stand somewhere, you think it is haphazard. You are not able to understand the planning of the cities. Okay. Then it rose a little bit, so you can see can you see here in the picture the streets and all, the planning. There are parks, there are cities. Okay, so this is in reference to the first and second pictures were in reference to the first stanza. Now, next, a little more higher. Okay, so the hills and cliffs. Can you see? No? Okay. Now? Okay, now let us leave it. We'll start the poem now. Yes, ma'am. A bit far from, please hold a bit far from camera. Okay, a bit far from camera. Good suggestion. Now? A little far? Thank you for suggestion. So this, okay, now we'll start the poem. Okay, straight away we are starting the poem now. Okay, are you all ready with your books, or with the book is better? You have got books with you? Okay. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Yeah, I just discussed when it rose high. Seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. Now, this sentence, sometimes children find it difficult. What is the meaning of this sentence? Okay, this means it had gone higher. Now, mile seemed 6 inches. Okay, or it equal to 6 inches. It looked as small as 6 inches. 1 mile seemed 6 inches. Okay, that was the height of the jet. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard. So, but on ground, when he was on ground, the poet, like I had in the beginning only discussed, that the planning had seemed haphazard. He couldn't understand the planning of the city. But now, from that height, okay, then a mile had looked like 6 inches. He could understand the planning of the city or the towns. Unplanned, What on ground had seemed haphazard, unplanned, and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. Okay, now I have completed this one stanza. Now let us look at this repetition. Okay, let us look at what are the sentences that are repeated. So that is repetition. Now, first sentence, when the jet sprang into the sky, and again it has been repeated at the end, when the jet sprang into the sky. So this is, if you get one stanza and you're asked what is a repetition here, so you will write this only one line. So this is called repetition. Now, alliteration. Let us look at the example of alliteration. If you have pencil, you can underline also. It was clear why the sky had developed the way it had. Now, fourth line. Seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. This has seeing S sound. So you can underline S, all SS in this line. Scaled and 6. So this is called alliteration. Understood alliteration now? And don't forget, underline SSS sound in this line. Now let us look at the rhyming words in this stanza. Sky, is there any rhyming? No. Sky, no. City doesn't have. Then had. My had haphazard. It is rhyming with city and inevitability. Yes, city and inevitability. So those are the rhyming words. Okay, clear? And sky also. Okay, understood? Now we go to the next one. So this first one is clear to you. When the again I'm reading it out without interruption. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had. Seeing its scale 6 inches to the mile, there seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked haphazard, unplanned, and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. Now we are going to the next stanza. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, now it's going more, or we can say not more higher, but higher. Okay, when you're comparing it to the first degrees, then it will become higher. When the jet goes still higher, it was clear why. That means it was of altitude from ground 10,000 feet from ground. Okay, it was height of 10,000 feet from ground. It was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. I have already discussed, in the beginning of this poem, that he could now understand, from this height, that the places which were near the water, that means rivers or the valleys, they were more populated. The logic of geography, that is lesson or the logic of reasoning or logic or the lesson of geography he had learned, that land and water attracted man, was clearly delineated. Delineated means it was shown, it was quite clear. It was now clear to him. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, again repetition, okay, to emphasize, stress or emphasize, the poet uses repetition. Of course, beautify also the poem. Now we go to the next one, the third stanza. When lower part of black, okay, you can't see the lower part, but I'm reading it out. Okay, lower part you are not able to see. This lower means rhyming words, but no, it's not needed also because I am reading it out. So you can hear me. I hope you can see this part. This part you can see. Okay, now I'll take care not to write below this. I have understood that the below alliteration you are not able to see. This is rhyming words. Rhyming words are not new for you. Rhyming words you have been doing from this primary section. In 5th standard also, you must have heard rhyming. 6th also, 7th also. So 8th is also. It's not new for you. Rhyming lines, rhyming words. Now last stanza. When the jet rose 6 miles high. Now higher. Now it has the jet has gone 6 miles high. It was clear the earth was round. Now it was clear. The shape of the earth was clear. It was round. And that it had more, two things. It was round, the shape of the earth was round, and it had more water than the land. But it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities, and to kill. From that height, it was not clear why. So he's puzzled. He's unable to understand why people hated, why they made boundaries. Though the earth looked like one family from that height. Okay? So you have understood, children, this poem? Okay. Now, children, what I was thinking is, of course, I'll do this orally, but you must complete your worksheets. Okay. Instead of this, that is why we are also sharing, because all the questions in from these poems or given in this text have been covered in your worksheets. So completing your worksheets, very important, is very, very important. Now, another thing is that you have to send in one file. Don't make too many because it becomes difficult to send you back. Okay, to check, it becomes really very, very difficult if you're sending different pages. For you also, it is difficult sending one page at a time, and for us also checking and sending, returning back. It takes very long, 10 minutes on one student. So more than 10 minutes also sometimes when the it is slow, net is slow. So better send under one assignment and only one file. Okay, whatever questions, whatever worksheets, 2 worksheets, 3 worksheets, 4 worksheets, but the file should be one. Okay, number one. And anything else that you want to share? Okay, straight away. First, we'll discuss these questions in your book, and then we'll go to the worksheet. Children, now worksheets are not being sent separate. Okay, now you won't find worksheets. Now they have started sending worksheets along with handouts. Okay, so no need to search in the worksheets. Under earlier they were sending presentation handouts, and then they had divided worksheets, okay, under different group. But now they're not doing that way. They're sending along with the presentation and handouts. So under handouts you will find worksheets, and of course I will also share with you. And to complete each worksheet you will be given time, like I'm giving you 3 days to complete. Today, tomorrow, and then third day it should be over. By evening, by night it should be over. That means today is Monday, Tuesday, and by Wednesday it should be over. Wednesday evening it should be over. Now children, I'm reading out some of the questions that were given along with the presentation. Okay, they are long questions. The first question, assignment. Under assignment, they have been given. Why do people hate each other, and why do people kill each other? Mention any five. Mention any five reasons. Okay. So will you do this on your own? Think about why people hate each other. Their jealousy, maybe out of jealousy, a competition, or just because they are divided. The stereotype feeling or stereotype, they have been brought up that way right from the beginning. The education, they lack the education, they have been taught or they have lived in that atmosphere of hatred, to hate others. So many reasons are there. Okay, race, like we see in American or race, the talk of a race. So you can take any five and you write it short. Okay, we should not hate each other. We should make this land, this earth, a beautiful place through peace, love, harmony. You should love your these plants around us. We should feel the pain. We should not cut them. We should take care of animals and human beings. Okay, next question. Question number 2. What do you think will happen to the human settlement in the future? Write a paragraph in around 100 words is given in your assignment. Assignment is given after the presentation. Okay, I will share with you in the evening. Okay, so this question also, yeah, a paragraph, short paragraph you can write in about 50 words. So why do you think will what do you think will happen if the in future? So you can just imagine if the people continue cutting off trees and they divide up themselves. So there'll be not only shortage of water and wastewater. So it seems if we do not stop, we do not think about it, steps are not taken, then there'll be there won't be this life on this earth will become unbearable, and people hate each other if they are further divided. Like we had Second World War, we are going towards we may not we are going we may go towards war, and war only causes destruction. Okay, life is not peaceful. There'll be again poverty, destruction. So people should live in harmony. There should be more thinkers who spread the message of peace. Okay, so that way, or maybe you might my children might be having better ideas, so you can write your own ideas. Short paragraph in 50 words, say 50 words you write about this. So one is why people hate, and then the second question, it is in the presentation. Okay, at the end of the presentation, 2 assignments are there. So I'm giving you time. Okay, take 3 days to complete this. Okay, but do it nicely. You can do this one at a time. So today you can do your geography lessons questions. We'll discuss geography lessons questions in first in the ones that are given in the book. Find 3 or 4 phrases in the stanzas 1 and 2 which are likely to occur in a geography lesson. So I think geography lesson from the second stanza, isn't it? In second stanza, Achha, they have marked also from 1 and second stanza, because geography lessons are in the third stanza also, the shape of the earth. But in the question, they have clearly given that from 1 and 2 stanza. So scale is used, no? Mile to 6 inches. Okay, so that number 1. Then from second stanza, cities where the rivers ran. Okay, this line, the valleys were populated, land and water attracted men. So these are the lessons, or these are the examples of geography. If you want, you can write here with pencil here itself, or you can underline here because you have to just show, or you have to write the phrases or the lines. So you can here itself underline. Okay. But you solve that worksheets that are being sent, you solve it in your copy. We'll come to that. First, let us discuss. Seen from the window of an aeroplane, the city appears. The city appears as developed and necessary, isn't it? The streets, the houses, the parks, gardens. Okay, the railway track. Okay, so all I think this third one, as developed as necessary. Now, third question. Which of the following statements are example of the logic of geography? Which statements here? I'm doing it faster. Yes, scale to yes, you are right, Soumya. You are right. Clearly, yes, delineated, shown. Yes, Soumya Joshi. Okay. Now, next one, third one. We have come to the third question. There are cities where logic of lesson. Yes, there are cities. Number 1, it is true. It is of geography where there are rivers. You must have studied in history also, and that it developed. So number 1, cities appears is not from 6 cities appear. What about 6? Second one, not don't leave second one. Then third, it is easy to understand why valleys are populated. So third one first, third. Yes, very good, Samita. Next, fifth one. The earth is round and it has more sea than land. So these are the 3 examples from geography, okay, or logic of geography. Mention 2 things that are clear from the height. So you choose any 2. Okay, that cities were, why the city had developed the way it had, number 1. Here itself you can underline number 1. Then another thing, any 2 you can choose. It's full of examples. Last from last stanza, the earth was round, or it has more water than land. Not clear from the height, from the last stanza. Why people hated each other. Yes, rivers and forests. Very good, Alok. And Yukta also is correct. Now, what he couldn't understand was why people hated, why they built walls, and why they killed each other. So now this is over. Now we come to your worksheet or handout. Okay, under handout they have given the worksheet. Are you ready? Because you have to. I'll give you this for homework. Uh, I'm giving you 3 days so that my children complete nicely, because there is writing also. And today you complete, either you complete assignment questions, or today you complete this one. Assignment you complete afterwards. Okay. Today you complete the worksheet based on the this poem, so that you don't forget. Okay, it is fresh in your mind, so you start doing today. Some questions you can do today, as many as you can, 4 questions, then tomorrow you can continue doing. Okay, they're not, it won't take much long. So tomorrow, and then day after tomorrow you can complete your assignments. Okay, so I'm giving you 3 days. You divide your work. Okay, I don't want my children to get burdened. That is why I'm giving you 3 days. Today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. But day after tomorrow means it should be over, and then I will check on Thursday. I will check on Thursday. Okay, but you should submit on Wednesday. By Wednesday evening, night, you should submit it. Thursday I will check and return you. I'll start checking. Okay. Now, question number 1. What is the poem geography lesson all about? It's given in your presentation. It has been given in your presentation. If you read your presentation, you will find this answer. It's about the way Earth looks from different altitudes. Okay, so what is the first answer? Answer number 1. Okay, now typing the answers and then sharing in that work, your that WhatsApp. Okay, it's not so useful. I think when we're discussing here, it is more useful, because if yes, it becomes clear from the high. Okay, now I'll submit later after completing the pending work. Okay, I'm giving you 3 days. That is why those who have not completed, because some children were taking long to make their ID or getting in the group, they were not able to understand or how to do it. So I understand all that problems. Okay, so that is why I'm giving you 3 days. Okay. So pending work complete, and then it's about answer number 1. Answer number 1 about, you write in proper, about the way. This is the first answer, about the way Earth looked. If you want, you can copy it, so that afterwards you don't have problem. Looks, looks भी कर सकते, present tense looks from different altitudes. Okay, altitudes. This is the answer number 1. Okay, now next question. What lesson of geography did the poet learn from when he flew from the above the city? What first, the 3 stages he learned 3 things. What lesson of geography did the poet learn when he flew above the city? He learned 3 things. First stage, the development of city is okay when his. So will you write that? He learned. I'm writing it short. You please write properly. He learned 3 things when he flew. He 3 things. 3 things. Oh, you can write it in short. 3 things. He learned 3 things. You, when you're writing, you write properly. Development of city, then cities that cities developed near water or valleys. And what was it? Third thing, the shape of the earth. the shape of the earth was round. Okay, children, I hope you have written this. Write fast because I'll rub. Third, what did the poet apprehend from a height of 10,000? The cities developed near water. Answer number 3. Cities developed near water. And one thing more, near water, and valleys were populated. And valleys were populated, and what the logic of geography, the land and water attracted man. So these were the things he. I hope it's clear to you. So will you write from the cities developed near water? Then valleys were populated. Valleys were populated. And then third thing, what he learned? Land and water attracted man. Land and water attracted man. That land and water attracted man. Okay? Is it clear? Attracted man. Okay. So these are the 3 questions. Now next, what geography lessons did the jet learn from the 10,000? Okay. Now next, read the extract given below and answer the following questions. Now here, if you have, you can find it's based on these questions. Now other questions are based on the extract, so they are very easy to find the answer. Okay. So what did the poet understand from that height? So you can get from here the first line of the extract, that the earth was round. That the earth is round. What did he not understand? That causes to hate each other and to build walls, and why people killed each other. Okay, so what does the phrase building walls mean? Now here, this mean, but I'm writing the answer because this you won't find in this extract. So I'm writing question number, next extract, sir. That is what is the number of the question? Extract. Okay, extract. Question based on the extractor. I think this is gone below. So I'm rubbing the first part. One child had reminded, ma'am, we are not able to see when you write very. Yes. So that's why I've decided to write over here. So based on the first extract. Okay. So first and second you will do on your own. Third part I am writing. Of course you are welcome to do on your own also. What does the phrase building walls mean? Division among men, isn't it? Division among men. Okay. On the basis of race or religion, etc. And people hate each other. You can write further. You can write. Okay. Now next one, second extract. One more extract is there. So this is the 5th extract. Okay, I'm talking about the 5th extract. Now 6th extract. Read the extract given below. Answer the following. Now here also you'll find all these answers here in this extract only. So it's not difficult. How much height did the jet attain? So you have to refer to this extract. You write. What became clear as the jet attained that height? Now what if you look at this, what is the height? 10,000 feet. It's given in the extract. What became clear as the jet attained that height? That cities had the countries had cities where the rivers ran and the valleys were populated. Land at 3 things: land and water attracted men. So all these 3 things you will write. Okay, it's in the extract. Then third question: what became obvious on seeing the city from that height? That cities were where the rivers flow, or ran. The rivers ran or flow. वहां पे भी बच्चे बहुत गलती कर देते हैं. लाइक फ्लाइट का पास्ट टेंस होता है फ्लू. ओके, बट फ्लो, वाटर फ्लोज, it will always flow. Okay, flowed, flowed, flowed. Okay, so be careful. Fly, flew, or flown, third form, flow and flow. Okay, some children get confused with this, so be careful. Water flows, air, in air we fly, the kite flies. Okay, now what became obvious, this is clear. Name the poem and the poet also you can write. So this is over. I hope you have understood. Time is over now, is it, sir? Time is over. Okay, time is also over, but my children have also understood and complete your work. So I'm giving you 3 days. Okay, children, so bye. Hope you have understood this poem, and if you find any difficulty you can always share with your teacher. Okay, so that I will clear your doubts. Okay, wherever you have doubt, wherever you find difficulty, you can always share. Bye, children. Goodbye. Yes, over.